Hello class, welcome to Online Statistics this summer at Point Loma Nazarene University. In this video series, I will discuss all of the core components of our course, starting with the general information about the course, and in follow-up videos, I will get into other specifics such as how to navigate Canvas, all the types of assignments, what is expected in those assignments, and so forth. But before we get into all the specifics, let's just start off with the basics, general course information. And while, as you guys know, on your workday schedules, we have a mandatory meeting each Wednesday at 4 p.m. But that does not mean that is your only requirement for this course. We have course materials going on every single day of the week, except for Sunday. And if you are not participating in our course every day on your own, then you will likely have a lot of challenges keeping up and being successful. But our first class is on Wednesday, but class actually begins Monday, June 15th, right at the start of the day. So one of the benefits of online courses is there is some flexibility in when you guys are completing your online assignments. You can definitely get ahead if you want to, and I encourage it if you are working or if you have certain obligations on specific days that may make it hard to keep up on those days. But each day, Monday through Friday, you'll have scheduled assignments, scheduled videos, scheduled things to do. And so in this video series, I want to help you know, okay, what do I need to do each day? But the expectation is that you're spending multiple hours per day working on our class. About 20 hours per week is the design, as we are completing normally a full semester length course in 5 weeks. It is very fast, and it can be quite a challenge. But assignments are due every day of the week except for Sunday. There are assignments that are due Saturday, but ideally you will not have to do work on Saturday. My goal is that you should be able to do everything on Monday through Friday. The reason I have certain things due on Saturday is just as a buffer, because again, I know some of you guys work, and I try to be a little bit more flexible with those things. There is a course schedule on the homepage that you can download and print if you'd like, which dictates kind of my plan for what you have to do each day. But kind of what I was saying is you don't have to follow that schedule specifically to a T. You can get ahead, especially if you're busy on specific days. And we'll get into that schedule in the next video. Additionally, another important note is this course is designed to be navigated on a computer, not on your cell phone or your smartphone. So the reason I mention this is because if you are planning on traveling, I recommend you bring a laptop with you so that you can participate normally in the course on those days, on those scheduled times. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about some expectations on Zoom. What is happening Zoom? What do you need to know about our online synchronous meetings? Because most of the activities and most of the content in this course is asynchronous. You can do it on your own time, kind of how you want. But each Wednesday we will meet on Zoom, mandatory meetings, and discuss content about the course. I also wanted to mention before we get into Wednesdays that on Monday, June 15th, our first technical day of the semester, I will be meeting during our Zoom meeting time. Optionally, if you'd like to come say hello, get to know one another, and form groups. So my goal for Monday is for those of you who would like to attend, we can get started on the right foot. I can answer your questions. We can get to know each other, just share a little bit about ourselves, and form groups. That way you can get a head start on getting to know those you're going to work with. If you don't come to that meeting, you'll just be put in a random group, and you'll have to start meeting your group mates on Wednesday. But each Wednesday, we'll meet on Zoom at 4 p.m. To work synchronously on a statistics assignment. So the assignments are sort of similar to what I would do in a normal semester with my students in a classroom environment. They're a little bit different because normally in a classroom physical setting, I would spend some time lecturing, talk about the material, and break to have students work on related assignments, kind of go back and forth between lecture examples and then group work. Online, we don't really have that because the assumption is that you will be attending the lectures virtually, basically watching videos, reading the textbook, working on your homework, using the stat tutors and stuff to kind of prepare for class. And that way, when you come to Zoom, you're ready to work on those associated chapters. So the assignment that we're going to do each Wednesday will be directly related to what was covered before. So for example, week 1 on Wednesday, our assignment will be focused on chapters 1, 2, 4, and 5. So chapter 1 is working on describing distributions with graphs. Chapter 2 is describing distributions using numbers, and essentially they're kind of the core ideas of statistics, such as things like mean, median, quartiles, and related statistical plots, as well as a little bit about scatter plots and linear regression. So my point is, if you have not watched the videos and have not adequately prepared yourself, you will have a really hard time in your groups. I don't want you guys to struggle and feel lost. I want you to be ready to go, and the class will work so much better if you are accountable and you watch the videos and are following along with the schedule ahead of time. It's difficult because our first mandatory meeting, there are all these things you must do first. That's why I want you guys to go through these videos to see all of what is required first. But anyways, let's not get too distracted on that. But essentially, you're going to be accountable to your group, and also, I want you guys to let me know if your group is really struggling or if they're a problem. That way I can talk to you guys about it and make sure we're all on the same page. But additionally, I want to encourage you guys to work with your group outside of our class time as well. The whole point of establishing group work during an online semester is to build a sense of community, which is often totally missing in an online class. In an online class, we're on our own usually. We have to learn it by ourselves and work through the modules by ourselves, which is fine and does work for some students. But here at Point Loma Nazarene, we are largely a Christian community of students. We care about each other, not just about ourselves. So the goal of having all these group activities is that we have time to talk about math and statistics, to know if we're having trouble and work together. And I will always be present in those class activities as well. I'll be there if your group is stuck, if you need help, if you want a mini tutorial, or just to go over something, check your work. Those are all things that are very easy to do in person in a normal class, which is where a lot of really good learning takes place, which is hard to do online. But summarizing, it's good to have students to work with, and I encourage you to work with your group outside of class time as well on the labs, on homework. Whenever you're having trouble, just have a friend or a group of people that you can ask questions to. I'll try to wrap this video up soon. I don't want it to be too long, but additionally, if you are having trouble outside of class time, working through videos, if you're just having a hard time learning with videos or reading the textbook, I'm also happy to meet with you during office hours. I have office hours every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 6. And I can also meet with you other times, such as Monday or Friday, or potentially even a different time on Tuesday or Thursday. But what I wanted to say about that is if you'd like to arrange either a private office hours session or a group meeting outside of the normal time, that's fine. All you need to do is basically just communicate to me when you want to do it. So you can email me, you can message me in Canvas, or you can just talk to me during normal office hours or during our Zoom meetings and just say, hey, can we meet Friday or whatever at this time? Now, the one thing I ask you is don't just assume that will work for me. This is summer, and while I'm mostly focused on our class, I do have an entirely other summer class, problem solving, that I also have to meet with and deal with. And it's summer, I have other things going on too. But the reason I bring this up is just, if you'd like to meet with me at a different time than our scheduled times, just give me 24 hours notice. Just email me, ask me, message me. Ask me ahead of time, will this time work for you? And I'll do my best to make something work. And if it doesn't work with me, I'll try to look for another time, because I know some of you guys are working or have other classes like me and have other stuff going on. So that's the difficulty with online environments. But anyways, summarizing, welcome to the course. I hope you kind of got a good idea for the generalities of the course. In the next video, I'll talk more about navigating Canvas, the schedule, the different types of assignments, and my expectations on those assignments. I genuinely want you all to be successful, and I just want you to know what you need to do in order to get there. See you in the next video.